Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're getting into something really powerful, I think. It's a first-hand story, someone's actual 3-month fat loss journey. And what's great is, this isn't some celebrity thing. No magic pills, no shortcuts mentioned, just discipline change.
Exactly. And that's what makes this particular account so valuable. It's from just an average person, right? Not a pro trainer or anything.
Yeah.
So the insights are super practical, relatable, things people can actually use. Our mission here really is to pull out those actionable steps, maybe some surprising bits from this personal experience.
Hmm.
Looking at the physical side, yeah, but also the mental game that's often missed.
Okay, so let's start at the beginning. What kicked this whole thing off for the person in our source? Apparently, it wasn't slow buildup. It was more like a sudden aha moment, looking in the mirror. And it wasn't just about looks. They talked about feeling low energy, confidence taking a hit, and then just this clear thought, enough is enough. That was the trigger.
That internal trigger. It's so significant, isn't it?
Hmm.
It wasn't someone else telling them to change. It came from within.
Mm.
That moment of sort of real self-assessment. And, profound change often really does stem from that kind of clarity, that firm decision to actually do something. It's that switch from just wanting it to actually committing
Mm.
a powerful moment.
Right. So after deciding, okay, I'm doing this, what was step one? And this is where I found it really interesting. It wasn't like day one, strict diet, hardcore workouts. No, they
Right.
just started observing, writing down everything they ate, just
Yeah.
tracking it. And they described the feeling as kind of a shock, realizing how much unconscious junk food, sugar, just mindless snacking was happening.
Yes, this awareness phase, it's absolutely critical. You can't really fix a problem until you properly understand it, right?
Yeah.
It's fascinating because this simple act, just writing it down, it uncovers those hidden habits,
Yeah.
those stuff we do on autopilot. It forces a kind of mindfulness about what's actually going into your body. You can't change what you don't even acknowledge you're doing.
That makes perfect sense. So once that awareness clicked in, the changes started, but slowly, deliberately. Like breakfast, they shifted from heavy stuff, parathas, butter, chai, to things like oats or maybe boiled eggs with multigrain toast. And black coffee, no sugar. Lunch saw a big focus on portion control. Less rice, less oily stuff, more like a bowl of brown rice, some grilled protein like paneer or chicken, and importantly, lots of salad. And dinner, this was a big one, changing when they ate and how much, moving it earlier, like a strict 7:30 p.m. cutoff instead of 10 or 11 p.m. And the meals were simpler too, like soup or dal and rice, maybe some sautéed veggies.
And it's interesting how they handled, the inevitable cravings or wanting a break. The source mentions cheat meals, but the strategy was key. Only once a week, and crucially not going completely overboard. There seemed to be an understanding that, okay, one meal won't wreck everything, but letting it slide consistently. That absolutely stops progress. It's about finding that balance, right? Discipline, but also making it sustainable long term.
Yeah, that sustainable piece seems crucial. Okay, so diet's getting dialed in. What about exercise? Again, it started really simply. Humble beginnings, you could say. Just 20 to 30 minutes of brisk walking each day. That's it.
And that's so important, starting small, building that base stamina. So many people try to go from 0 to 100, hit these intense workouts, and then just burn out or get injured. Consistency with something manageable, that's how you build a real habit.
Right. And that walking obviously worked because it built up their stamina. And then they progressed, moved on to body weight stuff first, squats, push-ups, jumping jacks, things like that. Then month 2, they actually joined a gym, but with a very clear focus, weight training. They even explained their thinking, saying something like, the more muscle you build, the more fat you burn. And interestingly, they kept dedicated cardio sessions like running or cycling limited, only 2 or 3 times a week.
Yes, and that focus on weight training, that's a really smart insight for fat loss. It's worth unpacking why that's so effective. Building muscle, even a little bit, increases your basal metabolic rate, your BMR, which basically means your body burns more calories even when you're just resting, sitting, sleeping, whatever. Plus, it helps with insulin sensitivity, and you get that afterburn effect where you keep burning extra calories even after the workout's done. It's not just about the calories burned during the exercise. It's about making your body more efficient at burning energy overall.
Okay, that makes sense. Diet, exercise. But they mentioned something else, something they considered maybe the most important thing, which might surprise some people. It was sleep, getting enough sleep. They talked about going from being on their phone until like 2 or 3 in the morning to making a real effort to be asleep by 11 p.m.
Yeah, it's interesting. They ranked it so highly, isn't it? Above diet or exercise for importance.
Yeah.
But scientifically, it makes perfect sense. Why is sleep indispensable for fat loss?
Well, several reasons. Your body's fat burning processes, your metabolism, they really rely on adequate rest to function optimally. Lack of sleep messes directly with your hormones. It increases ghrelin, that's the hunger hormone, and decreases leptin, the one that tells you you're full. Plus, it jacks up cortisol, the stress hormone, which actually tells your body to store fat,
Mm.
especially around the belly.
Mm.
So, yeah, you simply can't burn fat effectively if you're chronically sleep deprived. It works against you.
Wow. Okay, so sleep is definitely not a passive part of this. It's an active component. Now, thinking about the whole 3 months, what did they say was the absolute hardest part? They were really clear. Consistency, just sticking with it day after day, fighting that urge to skip a workout or, give in and binge on something unhealthy, that constant mental battle. I think a lot of us know that feeling. Oh, absolutely. It's the universal challenge, isn't it? And the strategies they used are quite telling. One was constantly reminding themselves why they started, keeping that initial motivation, that enough is enough feeling, front and center. And the other, which is really powerful, was tracking progress with weekly photos. Seeing those small changes week by week provides incredibly strong positive feedback. It makes the effort feel real and worthwhile, especially when, maybe the scale isn't moving much that week or motivation is low. It's visual proof.
And that consistency, those strategies, they paid off. The results were pretty significant. In just those 3 months, they reported losing almost 8 to 10 kilograms of fat and around 4 inches difference in their waist measurement. That's quite a change in a relatively short time.
Impressive numbers, for sure. But what often gets overlooked, and what they highlighted too, are the changes beyond the scale or the tape measure. Things like having way more energy throughout the day, noticing their skin looked better, healthier, and maybe most importantly, that feeling of self-confidence coming back, stronger than before perhaps. It's about overall well-being, not just weight, a sense of regaining control.
Yeah, regaining control. That leads perfectly into another big realization they shared. That this whole fat loss thing, it wasn't just physical, it was fundamentally a mental transformation too. They actually said, when you learn to control yourself, that's when real progress happens.
That concept of self-control, or maybe self-mastery, is absolutely key for making changes last. It's not just about following a plan for 3 months.
Yeah.
And it sounds like they've managed that because they mentioned maintaining the results now by sticking to what they call the basics: clean eating, staying active, getting enough sleep. Nothing extreme. They said it's simple. So, no, but simple doesn't always mean easy, does it? It's about consistently choosing those foundational habits until they become, well, just how you live.
Yeah.
It's ingrained.
Okay, so let's try and boil this down. If you're listening, what are the big takeaways from this deep dive into one person's journey? It seems like it starts with real awareness, knowing where you stand. Then it's about small, consistent steps. Diet changes, moving your body but starting small, making sleep a non-negotiable priority, and underpinning it all, developing that mental discipline to stick with it.
Exactly. I think the core message really is start small, but be incredibly consistent. Remember that idea from the source. Every day, make a small effort, it will add up. It really does compound over time.
And maybe a final thought to chew on, directly from the person whose journey we explored. Are you happy with your body today? If not, let's start working on it. Don't wait for tomorrow. Today's one step will become tomorrow's result. Pretty direct.
Very direct. And a good reminder that fat loss, or any health goal really, it's a journey. It's not like you arrive at a destination and you're done. It takes, as they put it, patience and dedication. Only these two things are needed.
Mm.
So maybe, for you listening, it's worth reflecting. What's your biggest hurdle when it comes to health changes? Is it the food cravings? Finding motivation, making the time?
Sure.
Or something else entirely? Just something to think about.